First things first, first story of the day in Cringe. There was a hate crime that just happened, and we actually have a clip of it.
And this is being investigated. The reason we say hate crime is the police are investigating this as a potential hate crime. So that's why we say it.
In America, you can learn it. Learn English. Learn it. You get money in America. This is if you get money in America, learn English. I don't give a fuck. Learn it. Learn it. You ride on the roads, learn English. Fuck about that shit. Learn English. Learn English. Learn English. Learn English. This ain't your fucking country. This ain't your fucking country. Learn English. Learn English. This ain't your fucking country.
All right. It goes on like that for a little while longer, and he just yells at him a couple times, right?
Well, and the ones that didn't vote for your bills but run on them.
That's right.
Mr. President, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
It's great
to have you. Thank you. Don't go anywhere. It's a very exciting day around here. We'll have reaction and analysis to everything we just heard.
Because, you know, the way you describe they can't trust up the pyramid, too. It's not just them lying down at you. People are trying to move up like the scumbags are. So they're lying to the leaders who aren't getting accurate data, even though they're spying on everyone.
Yeah.
So
you got it. You got it figured, man. That's just brilliantly stated. Yeah.
So Kathy, how did you manage to not commit suicide? Because people have killed themselves who have been through a tenth of the trauma that you've been through. You've been through unbelievable amounts of trauma. How do you think you were able to survive without committing suicide? And tell us about how you eventually broke from that mind control.
Well, they definitely go together because, like I said, intelligence insider Mark Phillips lifted my daughter and me right out of the Washington, D.C. human trafficking swamp back in 1988. That's way before most people even knew there was a swamp, or, you know, that Democrats and Republicans were involved, or that our children were being sexualized, or that mind control even existed. But still, Mark handed me keys to my own mind, because information on our own mind-brain function, our birthright information that is our defense against mind control, was buried under national security. Mark found that too, and he was livid. He's like, why is this not in mental health? Why is this not in the medical community? Why is this not in education? And it's because it empowers us to have the knowledge that's our defense against mind control. So he handed me keys to my own mind, reminded me that we all have the power to heal and reclaim our free thought, our free will, soul expression, strength of spirit, tap into that infinite power of love, remember who we are and why we're here, and live our life's purpose. But it was a journey. It was, because when I started remembering, Mark told me, he said, write out your memory, because the very act of moving a pen activates the logic part of the brain. So it takes repressed traumatic memory, shifts it over to logic, where it's written out on paper, consciously seen, and healing happens psychiatrically, psychologically, emotionally, spiritually, everything all at once with this one simple brain hack. Everybody everywhere can use it. Write out your fear, write out your trauma, write out whatever's immobilizing you, write out your grief, and then add a solution. Because if you add a solution, you force your brain to fire in new ways. You lift out of that dark pit of negativity. You are able to see a clear path forward and think for yourself. So after 30 years of MK Ultra mind control, I didn't even know how to think. But voicing no negatives without a solution, as Mark told me, forced me to have to think and use my brain. So as all this is happening, and I'm remembering these horrific things, what my daughter went through, the most torturous thing of all, I told Mark, I said, I can't live with myself. I can't live with myself after what I had to do. And he said, you're not responsible for what you're tortured to do under mind control. Your abusers are, and they need to be held accountable for their actions. Same way, people who got the injection or had their kids get the injection are seeing the horrific results of that they need to realize they were mind controlled with a repetitive media narrative. They were traumatized, thinking, it was do or die. And they need to see the puppet masters who told us that be held accountable for those actions. Well, when Mark told me that, it was that they needed to be held accountable. It was like, okay, then if I have a blank, clean slate right now, then I am going to make sure everything I do going forward is in harmony with love, with purpose, with peace, in light of truth. And I made that decision right then. I went deep within myself to find out, who I am. I couldn't figure that out from outside input or daily affirmations or anything like that. And I found out at the base core energy of my being that I am love. And it was like, oh, I don't have to love myself. I just have to live the love I am. So once I learned to live the love I am, then I was able to live my life's purpose. I was able to absolutely stay steadfast and not in that everything I did was out of love and not being triggered. That opening the neuron pathways in the brain frees repressed, traumatized memories so it can't be triggered anymore. It all opens once those neuron pathways are open. Survivors can't be triggered anymore, but that healing has to come from within. It cannot happen through outside input, especially not through hypnosis or, whatever else they got out there. It's within us. We've been blessed with that capability for the resiliency of body, mind, and spirit all along. We just forgot. We need to re-access it, and picking up that pen and paper helps us to access it and reconnect and be able to, align with the divine within to have the strength to be able to move forward. So, no, suicide was not in my equation. My daughter had been thrust into the so-called Child Protective Services, which is no more than a catch net operation for trafficked children. And Senator Byrd set that up with his office in the FBI building back in the mid-'80s. So what I saw being set up, I saw my daughter being thrust into. They medically kidnapped her. She was in the hospital, and they just took custody. So I was fighting for her. It was love for her that compelled me forward. I had no time for self-pity. I had no time to be thinking of, woe is me, I need to suicide. No, it doesn't work that way. And I overcame all the death programs that had been instilled because I deprogrammed the program first in writing out the memory. All those techniques, those simple little reminders that Mark taught me are posted on my website. At trance-formation.com. Anybody can have it and access that information. It's in PTSD, Time to Heal. It's a little tiny workbook. It's not about me. It's about us all, because we all can heal no matter what in the world happened to us. We can overcome that grief. We can get past any suicidal thoughts. We can get past any death programming. It's within us to be able to do that, because we have more power over our own minds than any negative outside influence could ever have.
Do you fear for life, for your life? Have there been any attempts on you because you've got this incendiary information that you actually are getting out to the people?
Oh my gosh, yes. It's been walking a very fine legal line. Mark and I were definitely under the gun. There's numerous times we wondered, wow, well, okay, we made it through that. We're still here. That's all detailed in my book, Access Denied for Reasons of National Security. Our journey through the system was very precarious. I have no fear. We had no fear, because fear is what they want. Fear is a basis of mind control. These perpetrators haven't been around them. They're very low vibration, dark negative energy force. They feed off of hatred. They feed off of fear. They feed off of trauma. They feed off of division. And They got that the first 30 years of my life. They're not going to get any more of that from me. So I'm just going to keep living the love I am. That's the highest vibration. It's out of their reach. They can't get there from their low little place. That would be like darkness creeping in on light. And I just stay focused on bringing truth to light and making a positive difference for the children's sake, because there's a lot of children right now that need to know that they can heal too once they're in a safe place, not Child Protective Services, but in a legitimate safe place. We all can heal.
So do you think, do you have an opinion on the president of France, Macron? He's now, it's been known that his wife, at the very least, was 40 years old when he was 14 or 15 years old.
48, and he was 15. And they would raise the age every year in the paper to cover up that he was 15.
Yeah. So do you think that he's a victim of mind control?
I think it's just very good that people are asking these questions, because people are starting to wonder about the various government leaders now. For a while, they were taking baby steps on looking into MK Ultra mind control with people like Britney Spears and Michael Jackson and what happened at Disney.
Kanye.
Yes, Kanye, absolutely. How many
People
times
blame him. And I go, don't you think it's weird that his personal trainer can have him committed? I had a personal trainer once. I didn't give them power of attorney. Isn't that a strange thing to anyone?
Yeah, except he was talking about MK Ultra mind control before he was fully healed and could still be triggered. And I'm so concerned for survivors who speak out too soon and can still be triggered, because a lot of times they're manipulated too, either triggered back in or used to undermine legitimate operations and stuff. It's just it's important that people heal first. And the more we understand about mind control, the more we're going to recognize what in the world is going on around us. We'll start understanding more about, like looking at what happened with Justin Trudeau, looking at what happened with George Bush Jr. Those are close here, but we need to be considering that this globalist agenda has been taking over power of countries for a long time. And
they tell you. They've
Yes,
been open about it. The rules-based order. The West. Oh my God, what's going to happen? Will the West fall? All this stuff came from the West. Good. I hope it does.
Yeah, it's gotta stop. Truth is coming to light, and it's because of people like you guys right here, right now. Bringing that truth out and opening people's eyes to start questioning everything that's going on in this world around them, because we need to do that. This administration is doing a lot to clean things up, but the power's been handed back to the people. It's up to us. The swamp doesn't drain from the top down. It drains from the bottom up, and we all need to wake up, open our eyes, and start making a difference, and stop following these leaders that we didn't elect.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of people had a lot of hope in the Trump administration. It seems like they got either that was always a ruse, or they got to him because he's going right along with the cover-up of the Epstein thing, and that seems to be unbelievable. But listen,
I got told that he got Jesuit programmed by somebody and didn't want to believe it. I still don't want to believe it, but
I don't.
Okay, so
because the perpetrators that I was around feared Trump back in the mid '80s. Because he was adamantly opposing drug and human trafficking, the use of MK Ultra mind control slaves like me in the State Department. He opposed all of that openly back then. He opposed the sexualization of children. They feared him because they couldn't control him. He knew about mind control. He had the knowledge. Right. That's defense against mind control. So no, he's not definitely.
It'd be cool if he'd say something though, and not
mind control. He couldn't be coerced. He couldn't be blackmailed. He couldn't be paid up. He had his own security, had his own money, whatever. So they feared him back then. I think when you consider the magnitude of this globalist mess that needs to unravel, unless the people do their part, I don't know how it can clean up. You know
right.
what I mean?
Yes.
So we instead of judging every little thing that's going on, we need to start understanding the magnitude of what all it entails. And, you know, on the Epstein thing alone, from my point of view, I was deeply concerned that the list would show the victims, the victimizers, and the whistleblowers, because there was a time I would have been on those planes. My name would have been right there. You know, I
Right.
was in those places. I was used in the horrible, horrible capacities. And, you know, when we consider that, then just to have a list until people understand about mind control, it's not going to help. When we understand that some people who were on those flights were in a position like Mark Phillips was, from the highest levels of intelligence, mind sciences. He was over intelligence. He could be any place. He could be CIA, NSA, FBI, Secret Service, whatever he needed to be. Well, he was in places and horrified to see what was going on. He couldn't even be a whistleblower. He was bound by laws of sedition. So look what he did. He took action. This has been, you know, we've been screaming now. Mark and I screamed for over 30 years together. Mark passed away in 2017. And I'm just carrying on our shared life's purpose. And I'm going to just keep bringing this truth to light, because it's until people understand about mind control, the mess can't be cleaned up properly. We've got to open our eyes, do our part, and start taking responsibility for our own lives. Take back our own power. Stop giving it away to big government, big tech, big cult religion. We've been conditioned to that for generations.
Have you seen Sam Harris and them telling you there's no free will? I love that.
Yeah.
There's a whole scientific
the
thing.
audacity.
There's none for him, I'm sure, because that guy talks like he's in a trance every time I see him. I also know stuff about him, and I know he's an alcoholic and all this other crap. It's such a false, and they got that scientism thing about them. So friends of mine that aren't that discerning, that they go, oh, that's a scientist, man. They're like, oh, he's really smart. And he's saying things that are objectively stupid, you know?
Yeah, and, you know, MK Ultra is a scientific formula.
Yeah.
And it's one that includes sleep, food, and water deprivation. People wonder why our food is being bioengineered and genetically altered to starve our brains. Why our water's tainted with fluoride. It stops our ability to have our brain fire properly. Working 9 to 5, 5 to 9 to get food on the table that has new nutrition keeps people exhausted. And we're not thinking clear then. These are a scientific formula for MK Ultra mind control. So, you know, when we look at science, that's one thing. When we start to realize, oh, they're using mind control. Ultimately, it is a spiritual warfare, because without free thought, there's no free will. With no free will, there's no soul expression. If we don't have soul expression, we don't have compassion, discernment of truth. We don't have an ability to gather the strength of the human spirit and the infinite power of love and stand up and make a difference. Well, they haven't been around the perpetrators. That's their greatest fear. Is the strength of the human spirit. Their greatest fear is that we're going to remember that we have that power, that we're going to wake up, reclaim our free thought, free will, strength of spirit. That's their worst nightmare. They can't stop our strength of spirit. They can't possess it, even though that satanically they want us to think that, or when they want to play the alien game, you know, that it's beyond our realm to affect, and they're going to take our spirit, you know, or whatever. It's all just designed to make us feel helpless, and mind control is used for that. And that's all they can do is use trauma after trauma and mind control to keep us from accessing that strength of spirit. Because as soon as we do, it's game over. We win, they lose, and they know it. So they're just trying to keep us from that. You look at the scientific formula for mind control, and you have the knowledge that's our defense against it, and ultimately that's our spiritual victory.
Kathy O'Brien, author of Transformation of America. all about the systematic torture and mind control programs that the CIA runs through MK Ultra. I appreciate you coming on. Thank you for the book. Everybody should check out the book. There it is, right over my shoulder. Transformation of America: The True Story of CIA Mind Control. Thank you very much. It's been your book is amazing. It's full with information that everybody should be aware of. And thanks for your courage and for speaking out. And I appreciate you coming on.
Thank you for having me. I appreciate this opportunity.
Okay, Kathy.
Nice to meet you, Kathy.
Nice to meet you.
I have really pushed the book a lot on Audible. I text it to everybody. I'm just listening to the book. Just listen to it.
Yeah. Tell everybody about PTSD, Time to Heal. Everybody needs it to reclaim that free thought, free will.
Okay. All right. Over to Steph.
All right. Thank you so
Thank
much.
you.
Powerful interview today. Thank you, Jimmy. All right. So let's see here. Okay. And Jimmy, I sent you a couple clips or links to those stories about Bongino and Kash Patel.
Oh, okay. So
Just so you know.
where'd you send them?
To your email, business email.
Okay.
Okay. Let's see. I read that one. Oh, let's see. It's hard to find out. Oh, I read that one. Okay. Let's see.
Okay. Here. Come to me.
All right. Come to Jimmy.